Hello, guys. This is Karen again. Welcome to Cheese My Corner. Here we are with Nikki Faces Reality. We actually wanted to do this whole reaction to the tell-all and see how we felt about this whole situation. It was a train wreck. So I'm glad to have you guys here. I'm glad that you guys are joining us. And also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to mine and Nikki's channel. We worked really hard on this, so we really need your support right here. And let's get this.
Everybody thinks like he was the nicest guy, and he was
Who's everybody?
so tall.
Okay. Everybody. I don't think any of us thought at any point that Igor was a good
No.
guy. I mean, he's funny to watch. That I do give him.
Yeah.
Like when he talks, he's funny to listen to, and I have an amazing time watching him. Like the things that he says. But do I think he's a good guy? I don't think any of us
No.
have ever thought that he was a good guy. I think we all
No.
knew that he was with her for money, and that's just the reality of it.
Yeah, no, I felt represented by Jasmine. Like, who's everybody?
Yeah,
Because I
no.
can't relate.
No,
Never
me neither.
experienced that emotion.
Can I say Gio?
Yeah, you
You're
have to
okay
say
with that?
I
this.
think you need to give her some good
The fact that
energy.
this is
Okay,
all
Nikki, just
happening
take
before
some
the
deep breaths,
actual
baby.
tell-all. I really do like the strip down because they, I think it's easy for them to forget that they're being watched.
Yes.
So you can see a lot more.
Very surprised to see Sam and Citra. I really thought that Sam was gonna end up in jail
Me
and Citra
too.
was gonna end up back
Me
in
too, yeah.
Indonesia.
Many
I was
times did
gonna
I
say
think
too.
that.
Great to see you guys together. Yeah.
Back when we had just gotten the season, I was rooting for two couples in specific. That was Citra and Sam and Clayton and Anali. And I know a lot of people are like, we don't like Clayton. There's a lot of things that they have to fix, they have to talk about, they have to get through them. But overall, they seem like two of the strongest couples, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that about Clayton and Ellie too. I think that the small hiccups that we saw on camera are
Mhm.
easily fixable. I think the big thing was her not coming clean to her dad.
Exactly. Yes.
Um, but otherwise, Clayton for me is he's just so stubborn. And I don't like when he does that switch of like wanting to be like this macho man when
Because
he
he
acts like
isn't.
right, when he acts
Mhm.
most of the time like a little boy, so that was my big thing with him all season. But with Sam and Citra, I think for me they were my favorite just because I feel like they were so real and so raw.
Mhm.
And I believe in people, changing their lives. And Sam really wanted to change his life. And I think it's a lot of pressure for Citra to, be that guiding purpose,
Exactly.
but he just seems so loving and so devoted and so willing to adapt with
To do
her.
it for her. Yeah.
Yeah, in a way that is refreshing because I feel like usually when we see couples like this, there's a lot of pushback, and I think he's just so willing to do whatever it takes to be with her, and it's just so refreshing. Maybe it's the hopeless romantic in me.
It's okay. Trust me. Even there was one video where I mentioned that it can be like Sam gaslighting me or whatever it is, but I think that he's doing the work that he needs to do
I
to
agree.
make Citra happy, and
Yeah.
he's trying his best.
Entonces, puede ser una pregunta.
What's up?
¿Qué pasó con tu mami?
It's not like I wanted her to live in the closet. It's not like, would I like her to have her own
As a
space? Yeah.
grown-up adult having your mom living in a closet, that is not normal.
That's not
And
his
it's not
fault.
right.
This whole situation of the closet, it does make me frustrated because I know in like me, my culture, if my grandpa were to see my mom living in the closet, he would lose his mind. He would lose his mind.
Absolutely,
But
absolutely.
Violet is okay with this. She wanted to do this because she wants to save money. He is
Yeah.
the only person that has stepped up to care for Violet because
Yeah.
Brandy hasn't, and Brandy has a home as far as we
Yeah, she
know.
has a
So
bigger
why
home.
exactly? Why isn't Violet with her? And they
Yeah,
put it on him like it's his fault. And I'm like, but
I agree. I think that Clayton had a one-bedroom apartment for himself, and
mhm.
Brandy mentioned that Clayton and his mother have a codependency issue. So it's not a matter of her not being able to afford a place. I think she wants to save money, but she also would prefer to be with Clayton. And
Mhm.
she also has a hoarding issue. It's definitely one of those that she tacked on to Clayton, and Clayton was like, well, this is all I can afford, and this is the only space that I can make for you. Yeah, I don't think it would have been his first choice to have his mother in a
I
closet.
don't think so. And if you put it into perspective, he's a bachelor. Well, before he was with
Yeah,
Emily, he's a bachelor. Do you guys want a bachelor that's probably going to be intimate with whoever he is with in a closet? let's put that into perspective. Like,
But also, this was his place. It wasn't like his
mhm,
mother lived there first and then he was like, okay, well, I'm moving and you go to the
yeah,
closet.
exactly.
This was his safe space that he's made room for her to come into. I also think that there's a boundary issue at play.
Yes, there is. I hope
Um,
that they're not living with her anymore. I did say in my one of my videos that I was calling it that by now they're not gonna be living with mom anymore. So I hope that I got it right.
I called it opposite in my video. I
Oh,
was
really?
like, yeah, I was like, it's interesting that Violet volunteered this information because I don't think that by the tell-all she'll be moved out from them.
Okay. Well, let's see.
And
What I'm most excited for today at the tell-all is finally being able to speak up for myself because I feel like I was very quiet, but I kind of just want to make up for that.
oh my God, I just noticed her red bottoms.
I
Okay,
know, right? Look at
Devin.
them. I know they're pretty awesome.
Myself, I don't listen to losers like trying to come at me. I don't listen to them.
Nick, and that's why you were on the season for 2 minutes. And that's it.
No, you was for 2 minutes. I wonder who he's calling losers. Like, is he calling the viewers losers? Is he calling the cast member losers?
Well, they've probably gotten a lot of ish on social media. So
Mhm.
probably just like the 90-day
Probably.
community.
Yeah. Who's your favorite dress right now in this tell?
Ooh, I want to say Jasmine is my like I really like the silhouette and the color.
Mhm.
So I feel like that Jasmine is rocking that dress.
Jasmine came serving. Her boobs are popping though. I can't like I'm
Oh,
sometimes I'm trying to like stop, but they're right there in my face. I also like Devin a lot. I think the dress that she
yeah.
picked looks gorgeous on her. Her skin looks so beautiful in it, and the heels, of course. I want those heels.
Yeah, she looks chic.
I just want to see, babe, you look wonderful.
Thank you.
Make the Vogue.
Woo! Yeah.
Yes, just do the Vogue.
Te perdiste.
She was waiting for this moment. She
Manuel is like what you lost. Look at what you lost.
Where do you two even stand right now?
Mhm.
They had a very bad conversation last night, and that's why Nikki was crying.
Oh, Jasmine said, I know you asked her, but I'm gonna tell you what happened. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, she's like, I have the tea because that's my bestie, and he is trash.
We're going to switch over to Ashley and Manuel. Good to see you guys. I was going to ask if it'd be okay if I consulted the cards.
No, she's not.
I
No,
know,
she's not. No, she's not about to do this.
Why are you shaking?
I'm not shaking.
You're shaking.
He's shaking because he knows they're gonna play that stripper video. He knows.
Oh my God, he knows.
Anything that's done in the dark is going to come to the light. So then some people are probably going to leave here a little unhappy, a little frustrated, maybe because of other people's judgments that are coming in too quickly.
God, let me be the happy one.
You're not gonna be the happy one. Let me tell you that, Jasmine.
No, babes, I doubt it. And the
Yeah.
thing is, I believe in tarot stuff,
Mhm.
but I just always feel like I can see why non-believers are like, sure, Bob, because everything she just said, I could have told you without the cards. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the recipe of what a tell-all is.
Exactly. It's so predictable. We already
Yeah.
know there's gonna be judgment. We already know things aren't gonna come to light.
Yeah, there's
So,
always a formula.
mhm.
Clayton and Anali. How are things in Lexington?
We moved recently to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Mom is in Oklahoma.
Oh,
Of
wow,
course she
okay.
is.
But is
Oh,
she
wow,
living
we're
with
gonna
them?
talk about
Probably like in
Jasmine,
their
but
basement. It's a bigger house, probably. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be something like that. I don't think she's too far.
I don't
I
think
just
so
think
either.
that she won't be in the closet this time.
Yeah, maybe she's next to them in the other apartment or something.
Yeah, like a duplex or something. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Devin and Nick, good to see you. How is married life treating you?
It's been good. It's going well, and we still love each other.
Sound unsure about that. I don't.
I would hope
There's some
so.
hesitation.
I would
I know
hope
Clayton
so.
said what I was thinking. Why are you so unsure?
I just don't think these people know what this visa is actually for.
Sam and Citra, how are you?
Good,
Good to
good.
see you. How is married life treating you?
Well, as you know, I'm a horny freak, as I've shown,
Oh, we can
and we're actually expecting right now. She's pregnant.
Wow,
It's
congrats.
amazing.
They got married and blink, she's pregnant.
Yeah, I know they did. They were not waiting. They said, we got this. Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
How is married life treating you?
We actually moved right after we got married to Austin. So we kind of started a new life together.
I'm living in Austin.
Good for them.
Us in Texas. Wow,
Yeah, they
interesting.
probably because she wants a bathroom inside of her house. Okay.
Yeah, that's
And
probably why.
Cali-
I don't think he could afford it here in California. Let's
no,
just say
I
that.
hear Cali's just as expensive as New York. So
Is there a bathroom inside?
Yes.
There is a bathroom.
listen,
Yeah.
that's a big move.
Would not having a bathroom be a deal breaker for anybody?
Quizás es el momento, la situación, pero pienso que el amor es más fuerte.
Clayton, like anytime Anali is nice for a minute, you could see the waterworks for him. He's just
Yeah.
so moved.
He's
And
like, "Oh my god."
I love that he loves her so much, but I'm also like, that's bare minimum things that she's saying.
Yes.
And he's just like, oh baby.
At times it's a little concerning, like to see how much love comes from him and
Yeah.
how much love comes from her. It's like,
Yeah.
it's not equal. At least I hope that it will become equal, but right
Yeah.
now it doesn't seem like that.
Rob's infidelity. He online
Whew.
cheated more than once, leaving the relationship on shaky ground.
Take a look.
Yep.
You've hurt me again, Rob.
I've been trying to be perfect, but I'm not perfect, man. I'm not. Like,
This pisses me
I'm
off.
not perfect.
It's so interesting to me that like there's men like him, like right now that we're watching Love is Blind, we see Clay
Yes.
openly tell AD, I will cheat on you. I'm
Yes.
going to cheat on you. Prepare for this. And I feel like Rob is kind of doing the same thing because
Yeah.
Sophie knows that he has cheated in the past. And I
Yeah.
think he knows that he can continuously get away with it.
Because what he's doing is, I know I'm not perfect, but you see me trying, right? I'm hurting you, but I'm trying. Can't you see that I'm trying? As he continues to repeat the same things over and over again,
Exactly.
it's pitiful.
It
It's
is.
pitiful. And so then when he's confronted with the truth, he gets defensive because he doesn't know how to have a moment of accountability. Even in this moment where he is wrong, he's just like, but can't you see the other things that I'm doing to try? I'm like, the other things are not the problem. The
No.
problem at hand is that you were unfaithful.
And I don't think he feels sorry about it most of the time. I think he's
No.
just like okay with the idea of hurting Sophie over and over again. Just
Yeah. He's like, I hurt you. Can we stop talking about it already? Like,
I
fine, I
know he
get it.
always gets so defensive about it. It's like, bro, you messed up. So you sit down there and
Yeah.
take the heat that she's gonna give you because if you wouldn't done it in the first place, this would have never happened.
Yeah, he doesn't want to deal with that. He doesn't
Mhm.
want to deal with the fallout of his action.
But I'm definitely not trying to be with nobody else but you. I just want you. I want you in my life. I don't want nobody else.
Yeah, you kept jeopardizing the one person you want in your life. So how badly do you really want her?
Did you respond to the people sending you videos?
That's why I'm absolutely
What
wrong.
kind of response it was, if you don't
The
mind?
worst thing that I
Jasmine,
responded
what's the
was
tea?
send more.
No, that's not true. Don't downplay it. He didn't just say, send me more. He'd be like, you look so sexy. I'm so hard for you, whatever and then they would send it, and then they would get more.
I understand his position.
Igor, shut
He
up.
received the videos from random people.
There's nothing for him to
yes,
say, honestly.
when Sophie was not near him.
Let me get this straight. If I were to leave my house for a weekend and I leave my husband here, would that allow him to message other women and be like, "Hey, you want to have sex with me or send me pictures just because I'm not here in the house?" Is that
Absolutely not. And he knows that.
I'm like, what is this? Oh, she wasn't near me, so it's totally fine, right?
Like, out of sight, out of mind. That's not how relationships work. And my problem with this is Igor is comparing this to watching porn. And my thing is, no, it's not like watching porn because he was in active communication with these women, encouraging this behavior, telling them how
Exactly.
good they look, telling them how horny it's making him. So it's very different than watching porn.
I think it is. Yeah, no,
Like,
they're
get out
totally
of
different
here.
things.
What do you think we can do home when you there?
Self
The
control.
best
That's what
thing
we
we
can
can
do.
do.
Not do anything. Just, there's other things you can do on your phone.
With your partner.
Why don't you call your partner? Why don't you create intimacy with your partner over the
Listen,
phone? There's
you
sex
absolutely
talk.
can.
There's
I mean,
messaging.
we've seen on freaking The Last Resort that there's even toys that can work long distance. Anything is
Angela showed us that.
possible.
Oh my god.
I understand why a woman bought a lot of cats there and play with cats, your cats.
Okay.
Now he's shaming cat
So
ladies. I
What
can't.
does that even mean? Like that's so out of I'm done.
I can't. The thing about it is, men like Igor, their masculinity is so fragile that if Nikki was out here doing the things that he did, he would not be able to handle it. We wouldn't hear the end of it.
And we saw
So,
that. Yeah, we saw that when she told him, "Okay, you want a threesome? Then you're gonna let me have a threesome." And that's when he
yeah.
can't do it, right? The moment that she gets to do what he's doing, then it's not okay.
Ridiculous.
Sophie, what makes you so sure he's not going to do it again?
she ought to be sure. She's looked
Can I answer
through
the
my whole
Can I answer
phone.
the question? I feel like because like I now check everything. Like before when he came here, like I think people should have privacy and I didn't check stuff.
Right.
But now I just feel like I don't think he would do that to me again.
Yeah.
So wait, let me get this straight. She doesn't think that he would do that to her, but then she's still checking his phone. You're
Exactly.
obviously checking his phone because you don't trust him.
Yeah, no, I think the moment that you start checking someone's phone to keep track of what they're doing, it shows that you don't trust that person and that you know
Yeah.
that if they have a chance, they will do it. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to live like that. So if
That
he wants
speaks
to do that,
volumes.
go ahead. But that's too much.
Yeah, no, that speaks volumes.
I think you could have done more. You two are in this situation because you didn't put enough effort into saving up for it.
I actually, in this conversation that Claire had with Rob and Sophie, I think it's both of their fault because both of you knew that she was moving to the US. Both of you knew that you guys were working for the visa. It takes a lot of money to apply for all those things.
Yeah.
You should have said, you know what, we can't see each other right now. So we can save up money and move in together to a one-bedroom apartment, even a studio where the restroom is inside, where it's more space for both of them. And neither of them did this.
I agree with I think the biggest thing and why a lot of marriages end is that people don't talk about money explicitly. And I think that you every marriage in every union you should do that, but especially when you are moving like across the ocean for someone, like that's a lot at risk. And so you need to ask those questions. And we have seen that Sophie she only talks about things when she feels empowered by like either her friends or her
Mhm.
mom. It's
Exactly.
really hard for her to like, stand firmly and have those tough conversations with Rob. But something that they also touch in this segment, and we'll see it in a little bit, is that what is revealed is that Sophie actually was the one that paid for all of the visa paperwork. And she was the one that paid for all her flights to England. So I understand now. I see the scene so
Oh
differently
my goodness.
because Rob, then your only responsibility as this partner was to set up your life together in America comfortably. No matter what you were going through, that was your one financial responsibility.
And he didn't do it.
Exactly. So I
The
see
one
this
job.
differently.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. Because initially I was like, I still stand with them in this conversation,
Mhm.
but I also feel like it's not cool to shame how people live. You don't know, like if he has bad credit, you just don't know what someone is going through financially.
Exactly.
So I can understand why he was turned off. Like, damn, like you guys are making me feel like I'm nothing.
Mhm.
But
But
I also
knowing that information, like you said, of Sophie paying for everything, like
yeah,
that is a big one because
huge.
you had one job and you couldn't accomplish that one job you had,
Yeah.
which was get a place so you guys can move out.
Yeah,
Why?
because
Why
even if it
didn't
was
you?
smaller, yeah, like it's what you said, even if it was a smaller studio but
Mhm.
had a bathroom, like the whole point is to be comfortable, even if you're in a shoebox, to for it to be the most comfortable shoebox.
Mhm.
Because it's you're starting over.
Yep.
Neither of y'all can sit here and tell me about what I should have done and what I should have because neither of you guys have ever been at the bottom. I'm confrontational.
I'm sorry. I love
Um,
that part. I genuinely
I'm
love that part.
confrontational. Are you, Rob?
Judge, 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 and act like y'all been through it all. That's bull.
The fact that he was going on and on to the producers for like 2 minutes just by
It's
himself,
it was more than 2 minutes though. I think Sophie said that it was about 10 minutes, that he was just blah, 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 blah. I'm
that's
like,
embarrassing.
it is. It makes me think of my kid. My 5-year-old does that. When he gets mad at me, he walks away. He's like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Full monologue.
Yeah.
And
He was
in Mexico, Rob, who was paying the rent? Me. The place
She
was
paid our rent in
I was paying
Mexico?
the rent with my mother.
There's so much. So one, he's like they were in Mexico for under a year, but
Mhm.
before that she was in England. They had already applied for the paperwork for the visa because the
Okay.
visa takes a long time. He's not denying that he didn't contribute to that.
He's not.
And then now in Mexico, remember his argument back at the house was I couldn't move because I was spending all this money and the traveling to keep us together. But what money were you spending on the rent when you weren't
When
even
Claire
taking
was paying
care?
the rent, exactly.
So
How
like where
that
did
is
the
not
money
making sense.
go? Yeah,
I
and
have
my
no
thing is
idea.
if he's in debt, then say it. But he's not. He's making it seem like he's been contributing when they keep pulling out receipts that he hasn't.
Was he working in Mexico? Like, did he have a job in Mexico that
It
he's, like,
doesn't
making
sound
it a
like
big
it.
deal about it? Because all I think is that they were on a vacation.
For sure, they were
That's what I'm
lounging.
thinking. A whole year you guys were
You are the epitome of the pot calling the kettle black when it comes to responsibility, the kind of guys that you should allow in your life, having a job,
Whoa, whoa,
having a job.
whoa. Like, you don't talk like that to your
No.
mother-in-law no matter what. This is someone that's going to be in your life forever. Like, there's just some lines that you don't cross.
And he's
And
already crossing them, every single one of them.
you don't do that. And like, this is a show about your relationship, not her relationships.
Not
So
who she's
trying
dating. Exactly. So
That
why are
just
you
is
bringing her up?
dirty. No, so he's also exposing any pillow talk that's happening with his wife
Yes,
because
because she's telling him that.
of
She's telling him the
course.
situations that happen. When I share things like that with my husband, I don't expect him to go out and be telling my mom, his mom, all these things, because
Right.
from
That's
those
confidential.
communications, exactly, they're confidential. You shouldn't have to put them out there. And he's not only sharing them with other people, he's putting them on national TV. We're all
Yes.
seeing this.
It's not the
You
same.
friggin' know.
She hates that man, and I see it.
Yeah. Ashley's face. I can't. She's like
I know. She's
the
like,
whole time.
I just feel so bad for Sophie because this is the worst position to be in.
Yeah,
Like
it's
her
your
mom is
mom and your partner fighting.
yeah, and they're both equally stubborn. And even if she agrees with her mom and she speaks up, Rob then guilt trips her for taking her mom's side. And then it's a losing game.
I do not talk about your mom like she talks about me. And all I ask is
I doubt that.
respect.
I don't believe that either. I think he's lying. I think
He
he's lying so
definitely talks
much.
ish about her.
Even if he doesn't say it to Sophie, he's definitely saying it somewhere else.
For sure.
Look at what you say. Look at what you told the world. Rob the knob. That's mad disrespectful to say about your future son-in-law. Like, do I regularly disrespect her at all?
Yes, to me.
What?
Oh, see?
There we go.
There we go.
Of
There we go.
course.
And I
Of course.
totally like they both are equally disrespectful to each other, and it does have to stop in order for them to be a conducive family. And I will say, like, yes, like Rob, you do get credit for, you know, changing your lifestyle as a couple immediately
Mhm.
after your marriage. Like that is promising that I thought they'd be stuck in that apartment for at
Me
least
too.
another year.
It's nice to see
So
that.
yeah, so definitely you get credit for that, but it's also like the bar is in hell. Like that
With
is the
this man, it is honestly.
yeah, like
I
it's
I think it should be
expected.
up here, and he's like right here, and we're just trying to get the bare minimum out of him.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, like sure, okay, you get credit, but I feel like the thing with Rob, I totally get affirming your partner, but he wants to be applauded for things that, like you said, are bare minimum. Like you
Mm.
should do it. They're expected.
I think she comes off as a protective mom, but the way she's going about it is, not making him feel so great. And I also think they trigger each other.
Yeah,
For
they do.
sure.
You know what I
You
mean?
don't see Rob
Many
yelling
times.
until she came on.
They're never gonna get along.
That's so
Hey, Claire,
tough.
after the wedding,
Oh, because now Sophie's in the middle. She's in the middle
Always.
in all of this. Like they're gonna fight many times. They're gonna say things to each other
Yeah.
many times, and Sophie's always gonna be in the middle, trying to make them get along, which is clearly not happening. We hear
Yeah.
the name calling over and over again coming from Sophie's mom, and she does apologize, but
She still
words
does it.
still hurts. Yeah, and she
Yeah.
apologized one day, and she'll say something mean the next day. So it's like
Yeah.
your apology's not working because
Yeah.
apologies are supposed to come with actions.
Yeah,
not
but it's
just
same
words.
for Rob, so it's an
Mhm.
endless cycle because they literally do
Yes.
trigger each other,
It's just going back
and
and forth.
yeah, it just keeps happening, and I would love to say that in a perfect world, Sophie should be like, "You know what? You guys are not allowed to talk shit about each other to me," but it's just not how it works. Like, it's natural to talk
Mhm.
shit with the people that you love.
I
It just
guess.
sucks when it's, like, to the
Your
same
mom
person.
and your partner.
Do you still believe today that he is not the right man for her?
Well, yeah, because only not because of his money, not because of his finances, not because of the way he lives, just by the way he speaks to her and the way he treats her.
Well, Rob and Sophie, the fact that you still continue to fight for your relationship is definitely a good sign, and we wish you the very
Wait, I know this is Sean's job, but it always cracks me up that she like sets things into flames. And she's like, "Well, you guys have really been pushing on in your relationship. Good luck with that." On
Yeah.
to the next.
Or when she goes, "I don't think we're gonna resolve this today. Let's move on." I'm like, "What do you mean not resolve it today? Yes, we are. Let's talk
Yes.
about this." I think that a lot of people have this idea of if you don't accept someone's partner, don't say anything. Keep it
Mhm.
quiet. And I don't think that Sophie's mom should do that. I think that if
Yeah.
she does feel that Rob is not a good person for her daughter, that she should express those concerns. She definitely has to say it in a different way so she doesn't sound mean and demeaning, like trying to demean Rob over and over again. But I do think she needs to talk about it. I do think that Sophie needs to hear that this might not be the right man for her, but
No, I totally agree. I feel like I view it in a different ways, right? Like I totally understand when you're first starting to date someone and it's you see that the same cycles keep happening and you tell your daughter about it. But if you have the same conversation with someone like 5 times and they keep reverting back to the same, you know, same sequence of events, after a while, you know that they're not going to listen. So coming forward to them every time isn't going to be as effective. And so I definitely get, I'm not a mother, but I would imagine that as your mother, like you would want to protect and try to get ahead of the issue. But after a certain point, if you see that your daughter's going to keep moving forward towards this and then resent you when you speak up, I would just save my opinions in my back pocket for when she comes to me. Then I'm like, okay, I'm glad that you came to me. I'm thinking this, as opposed to
yeah,
constantly being like,
telling her, yeah.
yes, because she's not going to receive it. If she's just had an amazing day with Rob, she's going to view you as the enemy because you're
Mhm.
trying to rain on her parade.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Like, oh, Sophie's between me and her mom. No, Sophie's with her mom. I'm by myself. She's
Disagree.
my wife. She's
Yep.
supposed to be
She's
the
been
one
with
for
you.
me. Her mom isn't the one creating a life for
Her
her. Her
mom is
mom
always
isn't
going
the
to be
one
her
moving
mother,
across
you
the
know?
country to do better for her. It gains me nothing in Sophie's favor as far as like, oh, this man really loves me.
Not true. Again, that's a
No.
lie.
And I get that he wants to be affirmed more, and she should. Like I feel like it's a give
Mhm.
and take. There has to be a good compromise between them. But I also from all the data that we've gotten, it sounds like he just started making moves recently.
I think this is something that happens a lot when you express your feelings to someone. You tell them, "This is what I would like for you to change." They do it for about a couple weeks, and then they're like, "Good. Is that good enough?" It's like,
Yeah, like
"No, there's
check
more."
I think you guys got to cut out the mom, like when it comes to you guys.
Yeah, I would never cut out my mom. That's the thing.
I think he
no,
feels
but cut off
demasculated
like
by her.
how
Oh
much
yeah.
you tell
If
her.
Rob treats me
Exactly.
good and does what he's supposed to do,
How much information you share with her instead of
Yeah,
just telling
because
her everything.
yeah, agreed. Because your relationship is yours. And it's almost like that thing, like when you tell your friends constantly about like something that your boyfriend
Mhm.
did, the way you move on quickly, your
They
friends
don't.
they don't have no loyalty to this man. They're not gonna move on as quickly. So you have to really pick your battles too and what you share.
Yeah, I personally not a fan of people sharing their relationship problems with family members or friends as much. Like I do
Yeah,
understand that you need someone to talk to and you need to
yeah,
share certain things, but to say everything, like you said, you move on from it, but your friends, your family members, they're stuck in that. They remember
absolutely.
those things.
Yeah.
I think at some point, if it doesn't change, I would just get tired and move on from it. And that's why I'm.
Oh my God.
I want
Yeah,
to
and
talk
that's
about that
yes.
Because again, I feel like Sophie married him so that they could have more time, treating it like they're
Uh-huh.
still boyfriend and girlfriend,
Yeah.
and so that she can bounce whenever she wants, and that's just not the right mindset to go into a marriage. Sure, I believe in divorce, but it's just it just feels like such an awful way to step into a marriage.
It's definitely a good point that you bring up when people just sometimes feel like they can just get married with each other and then the problems will get better. We'll solve them later on when in reality that's not the case. There's many issues that come with it and you should definitely address those issues beforehand and then get into a marriage. Like you said, yeah, divorce is very easy, but I don't feel like we should treat marriage like it's a toy or a paper that you can just sign and rip away the next minute.
I love how supportive you are of your mom. It's amazing.
See, I don't like those passive aggressive comments
Me neither.
because
God,
She
he's
I would
sounds
putting her
love
awful.
further
if
in the
my wife
middle.
would.
Yeah, she's like, oh, pick me or her. She
Yeah, I
does.
think I think they both are just yeah, I'm not a fan of tit for tat. We've seen that with Jasmine and Gino. I don't like when people keep score like that.
Mhm.
And if we are keeping score, you just started making these moves 2 minutes ago. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So so I understand why she's like, "Okay, you want affirmation. You don't give me affirmation for what I've done."
Yeah, it's something that should have definitely been addressed beforehand. Something that they should have
Yeah.
just, you know, this is how it works. This is how it's gonna go. And like you said,
Yeah.
keeping tabs on what each other is doing for the other person, that's a little childish. That sounds like high school. I did this for you, so you do that for me.
Thing about marriage,
Yes.
at least to me, is like as your spouse, you should be their biggest advocate.
I believe in that. I'm not
Yeah.
married, but I believe in
All
that.
she wants to talk about is
Even
what
with
I've
my
done wrong.
friendships.
No, that's a big deal. You know, when you are with someone you is your partner, I don't think you should simply just shit on them when
Yeah.
everyone else is. You know, yes, if you don't agree with they have a conversation with your partner privately and
Yeah.
tell them this is what I don't agree with. This is what you did. This is what I didn't like. But to be down on them in front of
Yeah.
everyone, well, they're already being beaten down. Like it's
Yeah.
just not okay.
Yeah, no, I agree. Even with friendships, like if you disagree with them, don't embarrass the person that, your friend, your partner, have that conversation on the side and be like, "Hey, I had your back in person, but I want to unpack this real quick because."
I'm not asking you to kiss my ass because I have a job. I just would like to feel like you appreciate me because you don't have to work right now.
You are saying like, I want you to be appreciative. I do this and that. Okay, guys, this is what the visa process takes
Yeah,
for an American.
you signed up for that.
I hate that entitlement that the foreign person has to live in an eternal state of gratitude.
I don't
I
think
agree
that's what
with
he's
Jasmine in
saying.
that.
I don't think that's what he's saying at all. I think
He just wants to be appreciated.
It does sound like it though.
Appreciated for what everything that he's
No, it
doing.
does sound
Regular
like that.
appreciation.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's both. He could want appreciation, but
mhm.
also be a bit of a dick that wants her to be just like bowing down to him and not call out any of his mistakes because he's providing for her now. And that's not how it
Yeah.
works.
I think the only reason why Ashley stepped in this conversation is because she's the American. She's not the
Yeah,
foreign. She's like,
exactly.
"Oh, well, I don't agree with that." But I do feel like that is a big issue when it comes to Americans hoping that the foreign person is just going to be like, "Well, you did all of this for me, so I should be thankful to you," but
Yeah,
not realizing that the foreign person left their family behind, their country, their language, their
yeah,
friends, like their stability to move over here, get criticize, get leave their family behind and go through all this process that for some
yeah,
of them it doesn't even work. Like, you
yeah,
know?
I appreciate it, but that doesn't mean you can't. You still need to take me on dates. You still need to make me feel welcome, you know?
You're never
Because
grateful.
he's
Like you've
not,
never been
it's not the
grateful.
whole.
What do you think about this? Do you think Sophie has been grateful throughout the season instead of, thank you for doing this, thank you for doing that?
I think she's been grateful, but I think what she's wanted to do is to like have them step up. Like every time they reach a level,
Mhm.
she wants to like step it up. So I don't think that she's spoiled the way that he painted her, but I do think that she does like the nice things. So anytime they reach a level, she's like, okay, great. Now we can move on to the next one. And Rob's
Mhm.
mentality is, well, why aren't you satisfied with this? And she's like, no, like I am satisfied with this, but like I still want us to strive for better. And also just ego. I think that
He has a huge ego. He
uh,
has such a
yeah,
huge
I
ego that
think
he
that
just
when she says, I want better, he hears, you're not good enough. And what
that's a
he's
good point. Yeah.
yeah, and what he's missing is that she's like, "No, like I want you. Like you are good enough for me. I want us to be better as a unit." But I think Rob puts on this persona of someone that is so secure, but I think he's actually really insecure.
Oh, he
And that's
definitely
like,
is. He loves to
yeah,
tell himself that he's all this, all that, when in reality he isn't. And he
yeah,
constantly tries to work to be better, but at the same time shoots himself down by
yeah,
I'm not good enough. Like Sophie, like you said, he says he hears I want someone else, not I want you to be better. And Sophie wants him to be better. She doesn't want another man. She wants Rob. I'm actually excited to see Ashley and Manuel. I genuinely like Ashley, but sometimes she gets a little annoying, like on my nerves when she starts screaming or things like that.
yeah,
But overall, like I would think she's someone fun to be around and someone
yeah, me
fun to
too.
like spend time with.
Yeah, I'm
But
looking
Rob,
forward to them. And Jasmine, Gino, because we know there'll be drama. But Rob and Sophie, maybe I'm excited for more Claire. That's what I'm excited about.
yeah.
It's like witchy stuff happen in the bedroom, or
Oh yeah, they got some candles.
Oh, the witchy stuff in the bedroom.
Sex magic.
Sam
You
asking
said
about
you
sex magic?
Yeah, I mean, Sam has a lot of questions about sex, I'm pretty sure.
Is that what you do with Manuel?
So we're talking about sex magic. And so this isn't something I do all the time.
Manuel's face.
If you guys have been to a brujeria or a witch store, you've seen the penis candles. You want to make the love last, if you want to bring in more sex, you can grab one of those guys and then you can literally cover it in your partner's semen. And then you could use specific herbs and then burn it.
I've never heard of this
Anybody willing
before.
to
This is the first time for me too. Just a penis candle that you put your partner's semen on.
I've wow. Oh, talk about educational. The
I know,
Learning
right?
Channel, TLC, okay?
Okay, Ashley and Manuel, speaking of your sex magic, I want to look back at something we saw a
The
few
restroom
times.
scene.
How you use sex to resolve arguments.
God.
Except
Oh
this
my
time
God,
was a
this
bit
scene.
unique.
Tú sabes que no quiero pelear contigo. ¿Qué te puedo decir?
Quiero para tu ir conmigo.
Not the panting.
No, they did it on purpose. They put the freaking subtitles saying the
For
panting, all of this.
sure.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
also, I just can't imagine being like, I'm gonna go into this quickie with my mic set on.
I don't think that this was such a crazy scene. It was definitely a bad time that they decided to do this, especially it looks like it was about like 12,
In
PM
the
and it just
afternoon, leaving
I
their friend
know.
hanging.
With people around them, the camera crew with them. And it seems like this was not the first time that they done this because they were so quick. Like Manuel put his arm around her and then as she was like, let's do this. Like this is
Let's
something that
go.
they do all the time because
Oh yeah.
they were too smooth with it.
Yeah, you can tell that they have the routine down pat. She's like, all right, you already know what we gotta do. It's her face when they come out that cracks
Yeah,
me
it's just
up.
like
Nothing to see here.
All right, a public restroom. Who's done that? Public restroom?
Yeah,
Okay.
with my ex.
Jasmine?
Kissing, but not
Not okay.
no,
Rob, you
not
said
going that
you?
far.
I have before, but not with Sophie.
Not
But
with
yeah.
so okay. Okay.
No, not with me.
Sophie's so insecure too. Like, why are you making this
Yes.
moment about you? It has nothing to do with you.
I know. It's like, are you guys gonna go have sex in the restroom right now just so like we can be even or what?
Well, Ashley's family has been critical of her relationship with Manuel and questioned whether they were right for each other. Do you trust him now that he's married to your daughter?
No.
No.
Ugh, God.
I mean, that's her truth, Ashley.
Yeah, that's how she feels. You can't blame her for that. Especially how the relationship started. We know that Manuel was not being upfront with his family And that's a big concern, especially because he does have children. And I get it to an extent that he wants to do it slowly, but at the same time, you're moving countries. Like, this is not just a normal thing.
Yeah, totally, totally. I can totally understand why they're like cautious.
Said that you don't trust
Right,
Emmanuel,
right.
but you want them to have
That
children?
was in the beginning before I found out what he did to his kids. Now I don't want a grandchild with them.
Oh.
Listen, she's not wrong. She's not
Yeah.
wrong. And I totally understand that fear of like, God forbid you guys get divorced and you guys have a kid. Are you just going to abandon my
Abandon them,
daughter and my
yeah.
grandchild? Like,
It's a big concern, exactly, to think that,
yeah.
like, if you did it once, there's a chance that you'll do it again.
And he
So,
doesn't talk about his life. So they're
mm,
literally putting pieces together.
Well, it wasn't necessarily that he lied to them. It was that I don't think that he was directly honest about when he was getting here.
So he lied. So he lied.
I mean, it
it's a
wasn't that they
lie,
didn't
doesn't matter how you
know that
paint
he
it.
was. When the visa got approved, the embassy made a mistake. So normally you get 6 months from the time of approval. We got 2 weeks, or we would have had to start over again because of all the political unrest.
And don't make excuses for him. He should have.
I'm not making
He should have
excuses.
said goodbye to his children and his mom.
I agree.
I wanna hear
It
Manuel.
wasn't
I wanna hear what he has to
a
say
little
about
lie.
this.
It was
Yeah,
a
he
big
doesn't
lie.
really speak much, which is the
And
problem.
Mis hijos sabían que venía para acá, pero el problema es que no sabían cuándo.
Sienna, do you still not trust Manuel?
There's times I don't trust him,
What is your biggest worry about him?
that he's not going to be the best husband my sister deserves.
Even though we got a little bit of Manuel saying why he didn't tell his children, it still wasn't an answer, honestly. I didn't get anything from it other than I just didn't wanna tell them yet, and that was all.
I feel like there's a lot that he's not saying. And that
Way
could
more.
help the way they view this whole situation. But right now he's just being secretive and it doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good.
It looks bad on him. He definitely looks like he's hiding a lot of things. I gotta say that Sienna looks incredible in that
I
red suit.
know.
Oh
They
my
all look
girl.
so incredible, but she looks extra
Stunning, yes. The
glamorous.
hair, the nails, the suit. She's good.
Yeah, they're such a beautiful family. But
You
I just
know,
want to
so
highlight how Manuel is not being defensive, unlike Rob. I just want to say
Yes, you're right.
that here he has two people instead of one saying the things that they are not feeling good about.
Mhm.
And he's quiet, he's being respectful. And like, I'm sure he doesn't like that he's being perceived that way,
He
but he's
probably
not
does
being
not, yeah.
disrespectful, you
He's
know?
being very just he's taking everything in. He might
Right.
not say anything, but he's taking it in.
Yeah.
¿Piensas que 90 días está bastante tiempo para conocerme?
Verá, nunca uno se acaba de conocer a la persona.
¿Nunca qué?
Nunca tú conocerme a mí.
When it comes to the meeting that he had with Ashley's friends, I definitely did feel like there were many times that things were getting lost in translation and there were things that were not being said directly exactly how they were being said. Like Manuel, of course, he doesn't want to go to a meeting with Ashley's friends and have everyone question him and be like, "Oh, tell us this, tell us that, tell us this." Like he's barely opening to Ashley, and you guys want him to open up to all of you. Like that's a little unrealistic, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's definitely a translation situation as
Yes.
well because he wasn't telling her you'll never get to know me. What he was trying to say was we'll always be learning things about each other. You
Mhm.
never know someone fully. But the way it came out was you don't have access to
It's
me
like,
ever.
yes.
And that's not what
And
he
that's not what
said.
he said. That is not what he said. And the therapy session was just awkward. Like, I definitely thought
Yeah.
that he would open up right there, but I get why he maybe didn't because, the cameras are there. Maybe if
Yeah.
that was a private conversation between the therapist, Ashley, and Manuel, he would
Yeah.
have said more, but he didn't say
Yeah.
anything much.
I also think that he felt a way about therapy. I know that a lot of people have negative connotations with therapy.
Mhm.
In some cultures, when you go to therapy, it's perceived that you're crazy and you've lost your mind,
Yes.
not instead of it being viewed as a tool to learn about yourself and get through things in a better way. So I think he was also going into it just, guarded.
Do you see why Ashley has concerns that you might be hiding something?
Tengo problema económico, necesito mandar dinero para mis hijos. Si yo me pongo a conversar esa clase de problema a Ashley, ella como que se va a abrumar, estresar más con problemas. No quiero eso.
He's depending on her money to do these things. So, yes, you don't want to stress her out, but it's one thing if you're like, babe, I'm going to send my money for this, but I want to spare you the details. That's still iffy. Do it. But if he's asking for her money, I would send her an itemized list of like, I need this because it'll cover this, this, and that. Like, I'm so sorry that like it's gonna be extra this month. So I don't think that's right.
No, it's definitely not, honestly. I think that this should be a conversation that both of them have together, especially because you said, it is her money. And I get it where he comes from. I know he needs the money for his children. And Ashley should be able to say, you know what? Yes, there is the money, but he should also be able to say, this is why I need it. This is what it's for. And then, I mean, they're in a relationship. They're married. Like, I think finances should be something that both of them are aware of. I spend the money for this, I spend the money for that, but we'll
Agreed.
see.
You have to take some responsibility too.
With
Because
what?
of all between y'all having all that sex for all those years, y'all should have been talking about what is my
He's
expectation as
not
a wife?
wrong.
No, she's not. I love mom,
What
honestly.
do I need to send home? What's the budget gonna look? This is stuff that you
Yeah,
talk about before
these
you
are
get
real.
married.
So here's
So
my
you
thing.
can't just blame
Okay,
him.
but I don't have children. How am I supposed to know to ask any of these questions?
The moment that you get in a relationship with someone that has a child, you should already come with those questions.
While you were planning your life together in America, those questions didn't come about like, oh, he helps his family and he's gonna be in America and not be able to work. Those things are gonna fall on me. Like,
Exactly.
the lack of curiosity it baffles me.
Ashley struggles sometimes because she's all by herself making the money. And then I'll give her the money to send down here to help him. Like it's just a lot.
So mom is contributing with money
Yes.
too. Jesus.
Yeah. It's and that's when it becomes a problem when you're not when you're not being blatant about where the money is going.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense because they don't know. They don't know what the money is doing. They don't know how that money is contributing. For all we know, Manuel's building a second house over there.
Okay?
For
Like,
all we know, exactly. Like, at least be forthcoming about what you're doing and what you're doing
yeah.
with all that money.
La mami de ella ha hecho un favor muy grande.
It's okay for us to send hundreds and hundreds of dollars to your family, but when I bring my daughter coffee, oh, you're so spoiled.
See? See? That's what it comes down to. Like, it can't be okay. The money can't flow and go in your favor, and that's a good thing. And then when they spend it on themselves, it's a problem.
And it's a big
Don't
issue for
earn
you,
that.
exactly. Yeah, no. He needs to understand that, and like we said, he has to say where that money is doing and where it's going
Yeah,
because this is way too much. You're already asking two people for help, and I understand that he wasn't able to work for a bit,
yeah.
but at this point, everyone that is giving money needs to know what that money is doing.
De donde yo vengo, siempre desaparecido. Soy el hermano mayor de 4 hermanos. De los 13 años empecé a trabajar para ayudar a mi mamá y es un poco difícil.
When you grew up in poverty, but poverty, third world countries is like real poverty, okay? Like even for eating, that's like sometimes a privilege.
Wow.
The way his brain is wired, because there was always a lack of something in his house, he feels guilty. You have to see it with your own eyes so you can understand it.
And if
It's
he
his reality.
communicated that, they would be empathetic. Look,
Exactly.
they love him. He's part of their
Yeah,
family.
they
They want to
do.
help him. But this insight, and I'm so happy Jasmine spoke up because this
Mhm.
insight is crucial. But he's the person that should be bridging that gap for them so
And
that
you
they can
saw the
understand.
reaction the mom had when Jasmine said
Yeah,
that. She's like, "Oh, wow, like, I didn't think about that." And she
yeah.
didn't think about it because Manuel never expressed it.
And he's the one
And
that should be.
exactly. And we can see, I could see where Manuel's coming from. I used to live in Mexico
Yeah,
for 12 years. And yes, the level of poverty compared to the level of poverty here is
yeah,
such a high level. And I could understand that because I went through it. But
yeah,
someone that hasn't gone through it, how are they
yeah.
supposed to understand where he's coming from? Like,
Es que a veces pienso que yo he dado muchas molestias y eso no quiero.
No.
It's his pride.
This is the pride that he has. And mom is so
She
understanding.
loves
I
him.
love
Look at
her,
her.
honestly.
They're the perfect. They're so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Lo sé, mamá, lo sé.
Oh,
I'm moved by this
me
interaction.
too.
Maybe there's still hope for that grandbaby.
She has to throw it in there.
Because she wants it, but she's
Yeah,
like,
she
give
wants
it
the
to me.
baby. You will hope that this was the interaction that Sophie and Rob had with Claire. You will
Yeah.
hope that this was what happened because this was so wholesome to see them understand his point of view, Manuel to understand why they're bothered, even though he doesn't really speak, but you can tell like his mannerisms and everything, and just being like, we understand, we get where he's coming from.
Yeah, there's reflection, and I think the difference between them and the whole Rob, Sophie, and Claire situation is that they're going into this wanting to understand. It's not me versus you. It's why are you not
Why?
talking to me?
Yeah.
And that's the difference between Rob and Claire. They both want to be on top. They both are fighting to be Sophie's number one.
Manuel, you're lucky, man, to have a family like that.
¿Quién no se va a enamorar esa viejita?
Oh, he loves her.
It's because she's so sweet, and when she delivers things to him, she does it in such a loving way. It doesn't come off harsh or demeaning towards Manuel. So I could totally see why he loves her so much.
Evangelina in Arizona asks, Sophie, when you're in a relationship, how do you turn off that bi side of your brain?
I mean, that's a very good question. You're not really looking for anyone else. So, same way as if I find men attractive, how do I turn that off, I guess? So it's like,
I don't think that answered the question.
I disagree. I think it did answer the
You
question.
did?
Yeah, I feel like
Okay, tell me, because I was like,
yeah.
where?
I think what she's saying is what she said to Rob over and over again. It's like me being with you. Obviously, I have eyes. I'm still going to be attracted to women, but I am committed to you. I've chosen you.
Do you
Yeah.
think that's gonna become an issue later on in their relationship as they progress?
I think not because she's bisexual, but I think
Mhm.
the issue is that she's never explored that. And I think that
That's a big
that's
one.
the one thing that because she hasn't explored it, there's always going to be that curiosity as opposed to
Exactly. I wish that she would have, honestly. I wish that she would have given herself the time to understand what that is for her and see if this is what she wants. Because one of the things that she did bring up in the other episodes was that she wants she wants a manly side, or like she wants the man to do the man things. But at the same time, there is women out there that are more that they identify more with the man side. So they will do the man thing. So my question is
you mean
more
have
like,
like more masculine energy.
yes, more masculine energy, exactly what you said, more masculine energy. So I'm like, if what you're looking for is the masculine energy, wouldn't you be also able to get that with the woman and not with
Absolutely.
Rob? Like,
Absolutely. All the things that she
mhm,
desires, she can have. And I totally believe in fighting through relationships if you feel like they're worth it. But there has to be a point where you're like, I keep fighting you to be someone that you are not. Like, I need to go with someone else that is what I want.
what I want.
And she's said this from the beginning, like, I'm hoping that he changes after we get married. And it's like, that's not how that works.
No, it's not like you flip a switch and that person becomes a different one.
Yeah, there's no way I would eat guinea pig. Like I've seen guinea pig on menus when we went to restaurants, and like I just can't disconnect the pet from the food.
Wait, will you eat guinea pig? No.
No, I don't think I would. The thing is, when I think about something and if it makes me sick, I can make myself throw up. So I just
Mhm.
can't
So you're
imagine
like, "No,
eating
no, no,
something.
thank you." I think seeing how cute they are, like, seeing them on 90 Day Fiancé, I'm like, "I don't think I could." They just look so adorable.
You think they're adorable? I think they look like
Yeah.
chubby rats. So I
They do,
don't.
but
Who would you have a kid with in the entire 90-day universe?
That's now you're gonna start something.
Oh, Nikki, who did you just point to?
Jasmine.
yeah, that's a loaded question. I wouldn't wanna answer that question.
No, it's a trap. With all these insecure people on set, I would not
Yes.
answer it.
I have had girlfriends in the past.
Did we know that
N
Jasmine was
no.
bisexual?
I have the balls to on you, baby. I said that it was a problem in her relationship, so I can tell you I will you, baby.
I'll watch.
Gino needs to tread carefully.
Yes,
Okay.
because he's about to get dragged by
Oh
Jasmine.
yeah, he's
And
If it's just a brief hookup,
Oh my God.
what are we doing here?
That's even worse.
I'd be fine with any of the ladies in this room.
oh, Sam.
I'll put it out.
Here we go. I don't know. I hate this types of questions. There's
me
no
too.
way that I would want my partner answering something like that because then now that's gonna be in the back of my head.
Of
Like
course.
I don't want to
It's
think
hard.
about that.
You're planting seeds of insecurity that don't have to be there.
I choose the Jasmine, but only to prove how are the Russian guys.
Prove what? What
I
is
don't
there to
understand.
prove?
I know. What are you
Al-
proving? That you
Also,
like Jasmine's boobs? Is that like what you're trying to prove or what?
I don't get that, and Jasmine does not like that answer.
All right, that's it.
How tough was that for you to do?
That was very hard for me to do, of course. But I did it for Jasmine.
I actually think that he looks better without the hair.
I agree. I want him to get rid of that patch,
I know,
own
right?
being bald. It's a good look. I think
It is a good look on him.
the hats age him more, in my opinion.
Yeah, they do. I think he would look just more, like, just way better without
Yeah.
it, and just like you said, shave the patch because it looks bad, and then just
Yeah.
own it.
And also, when I was looking at that wedding photo, he had that tan line because all he wears is hats. And if he
Yeah.
just lets it, be the same shade, I think he'll look really handsome.
Hmm.
Okay, let's talk about communication between you two. Let's discuss
Is
the wedding
communication in the
dress.
room with us?
Whoops.
Because
No, it's
Gino
not.
initially sent Jasmine $4,000 for a wedding dress, and Jasmine spent it on butt implant.
You know where my wedding dress is right now? At the basement on a plastic bag getting dust. Where is my ass right now?
No, I get where she's coming from with that opinion or with that comment, but come on, like I think where she went wrong is by not telling Gino that that's what she was gonna spend the money on. I don't see anything wrong with her getting a ass or BBL. However, talk to your partner, tell them what you're gonna do. It's not that difficult, especially when he's the one sending the money.
yeah, this is his hard-earned money, and like he should have a say as to where it goes. Specifically because this isn't money that he sent you as allowance. This is money
Hmm.
that he specifically sent for your wedding dress while he's
Exactly.
already spending all this money in the K1 process. It just feels like she takes advantage of his kindness.
She very much does.
The only thing that I regret is that I wish I have gotten bigger implants.
This is why I don't
Jazz, would
take
you
any of
mind
her apologies
standing?
seriously.
She's not apologizing. She doesn't.
No.
It's like, "Oh, I regret not getting an ass bigger." I thought she would say, "I regret not telling Gino."
That's what I
But
thought
no.
she would say because that's what she said when she came clean to Gino. And that's why, like, every apology that she's ever given, she goes around and basically proves that she didn't mean it. Always. Every single one.
Jasmine admitted that her ex, Dane, paid $2,000 towards the surgery.
Why would he give it to her unless he's getting something out of it? And $2,000, that's a lot of
Well,
money.
a person like you, Sam, will think that way. Like,
I don't agree with all of this. Is
No.
No, because if it was Jasmine the one going through this, she would crucify Gino. She would literally crucify Gino. And I don't think it's fair to draw the lines on, oh, because you went further with your partner, because you lived with them, because you married them. Like that doesn't make sense. She has compared Gino to Dane multiple times.
In
She
a
has,
in
yeah,
a graphic, vulgar way.
exactly.
You can't tell Gino, I don't want you to think of me and Dane as different. We're just friends. When then the next time you get in an argument with Gino, you're telling him how your sex life with Dane was better. How could you possibly want to instill confidence in your partner and confidence in your friendship when you do that? And she's done it repeatedly. And she almost wants to like crucify Gino for having a past, like being married when she was going through his house and finding things.
And I'm pretty
And
sure this is a house that they got together. So, of
yeah.
course, there's going to be things that she brought into the house that Gino has not gotten rid of and probably
Yeah.
was waiting for someone else to come into his life.
Yeah, and I just don't appreciate that every time she gets called out for something that she should be getting called out for.
Mhm.
She brings something from the past and it's like, you forgave him for that, so you need to move forward and take accountability and sit with the discomfort that you were in the wrong.
Yeah, but she
And
forgives in her way. She
yeah,
forgives, like, Gino for what he did or things that didn't even happen in her timeline, but in the back of her head, she's like, "When is the next argument so I can bring it up again?"
But I've heard you, when being mad at Gino, say some very hurtful things in regard to who he is, how he's been with you, your experiences with
exactly.
your ex.
Yes, and I said it because I'm a bitch and I know
At least
what
she's
is
owning
gonna
it.
trigger him and
But
make
that
him
doesn't make it
But she ain't
okay.
actually.
That
No,
doesn't
I
make it
mean, you're right.
okay. And like, oh, like you're a bitch and we need to just move on. No, because then you say that Gino is triggering you, but he's reacting to how you triggered him. It's just an
Mhm.
endless cycle. Like you need to get help. This
But
isn't okay.
I don't think that Jasmine is going to at any point try to find that help that she needs. I mean, we've seen her breakdowns, we've seen how she acts on TV in front of all of us. I think because TLC continues to bring her on and enable this behavior over and over again, she continues to show it because she knows that it's getting them ratings, it's getting them views constantly. And we see the same thing with like the abusive people in the show. Angela, for example, we've seen how she treats Michael. Many times has she been incredibly horrible to him, and they continue to bring her on to the show so we can keep witnessing. Ed, Big Ed too. He treats every single partner he's been with horrible, but they continue to bring him on. And the same thing with Jasmine.
I just don't appreciate that she's like, I'm being like it's just like the who was first, the chicken or the egg, you know? Like she's like, I'm being a bitch, yes, but you trigger me. And he's like, well, I've only said certain things because you did this. So it's
Exactly.
like it's endless. And yeah, I just her being like, well, I'm just being a bitch. And I'm like, yeah, you know his triggers and you do it on purpose. He does it. The difference between her and Gino is that when he lashes out, it's to defend himself. When she lashes out, it's to deflect.
And
And
to
there's
hurt
a
him.
difference. Yeah.
She's thinking now, how low can I get this man? How
Yeah,
low
to
can I bring
win.
his
Jasmine, you said your biggest regret in life was not having sex with Dane before coming
That's
to America.
crazy.
I
I
know.
remember her saying that.
That's
Uh,
wild.
also told me things like, oh yes, my exes were better.
Yeah, he said that to you. We saw it when you provoked him.
exactly. He said it because she said it. It's
He's
like
like,
there's
fine. And he didn't do it that first time that she did it in Panama. It took him a while to get to that place because it's like, shit, like you're gonna keep beating my
Mhm.
self-esteem down. Like, let's see how you like it.
I know. I think a lot of people, were encouraging him to finally step up on for himself and
Yeah,
finally say something because I mean, me as a viewer, I was definitely tired of seeing some of Jasmine's reactions and how
absolutely.
crazy she gets on Gino specifically. And Gino was so tame, so just like quiet for everything that she would say. And then
Yeah,
finally, when he says something, that's when Jasmine's not okay with it. And I'm
yeah.
like, okay, we'll see what this apology gets to. The one we're getting right now.
We'll see a few more, I'm sure, in the happily ever after.
I know, right?
Gino, was it less drama around sex with your ex than it is with Jasmine?
I know.
No, not really. No.
He
That
waited
was a
too long.
long
Long pause.
pause.
A lot of the hurtful things that she does say to me, it affects our intimacy, affects our relationship.
Yeah, but don't come here like I said those things just because I want to be a bitch. You trigger me.
You literally said that you were doing it to
She
be
just
rich.
said that. Exactly. She just said, "I'm doing it because I'm a bitch." And now you're saying because you trigger me. Like it does just two things don't make
Yeah, she
sense.
can't take accountability.
Well, over the course of their relationship, both Gino and Jasmine have worried about infidelity. Once Jasmine got to Michigan,
She's moving on and I'm like still stuck in that conversation. I'm like, shut
Yeah.
up. I mean, it just feels like Jasmine, like you said, never takes accountability for her actions. And when it comes to Gino and not answering the question, I definitely do think his intimacy was in a different level with his partner, with his ex-partner, because he didn't have what Jasmine is doing to him. She
Yeah.
probably wasn't yelling at him. She probably wasn't telling him, my ex was better. You can't even do this. You can't even do that. And I do see that it definitely has affected Gino's, drive to want to have sex with Jasmine. Because imagine your partner yelling at you, telling you you're not good enough. My ex was better. And then saying, let's go have sex.
Yeah. The
In what world?
emasculation that goes on
Mhm.
is too much. And anytime she's like being lovey-dovey, it's that we've seen on camera,
Mhm.
it's like it's in search of her own affirmation. Like she's like, "Oh, do I look good in this? Do you like it?" Like it's always like seeking compliments. And I think that he'd be more willing to give compliments voluntarily if she was making him feel good. So I'm not one bit surprised. And so she's overcompensating, trying to do all these things to her body to supposedly get his affection. And it's like, that's not what he needs at the end of the day. He needs someone that makes him feel good so that
Mhm.
it could
They
kick
would
in
yeah,
again.
no, they would definitely be in a better place if they took more time talking about their issues, with Jasmine
Yeah.
not really just throwing things at him over and over again. Like you said, all these things that she's getting fixed, getting her boobs, getting her ads done, they're nothing at the end of the day if you continuously be your partner down.
Yeah.
She found something in Gino's car that convinced her once and for all that he has strayed. Take a look.
My cell phone. It's a goner.
What is this?
I have no idea what that is. Who knows?
He acts so guilty.
He acts guilty, but he's scared. I don't think he's
What?
guilty of anything. He's terrified.
He's probably thinking, "What is Jasmine about to tell me right now?" There's no guiltiness in my side. I do not think that I honestly think the lipstick was planted. I
You
think the
think so?
lipstick was yeah, I think that production did it because they knew how Jasmine was gonna react to the lipstick. Like,
No. Her sobbing in the car, honestly, when I saw it, it made me laugh for like 10 minutes
me too.
because she was crying like someon died.
I know.
It was so excessive.
Yeah, it was like Coco passed away.
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, just like leaning on the car window.
And then it was raining. Remember that it was freaking raining. So when she gets out of the car, it gets worse because she's just against the wall. Just, oh, I can't.
By a puddle, it's so
Now, Jasmine, you found out that Gino had a bachelor party the day before your arrival. Did you know that he was going to have one at all?
I'm
So
not ready.
this is the thing. You all saw my bachelor party. There were no strippers. I went out with my friends. We were having fun. We were dancing. There were no strippers.
But you had a stripper the
She's had strippers before, is what Gino was about to say. And we saw the
Yes.
footage of him being all up on her
Mhm.
in her apartment.
Exactly.
Like, again, this tit for tat is unnecessary when you are not like, you're not this angel that's never done
You're not.
anything.
Her argument is that it was her divorce party,
So
which
what? The
to me
setting
is
doesn't
like,
matter.
exactly. It does not matter.
to Panama that was on top of you, and you let him go on
It
top of
was the divorce party,
I
and
found
I
out
didn't enter a strip club.
So what? It was still a stripper.
Exactly. But she apologized a couple minutes ago. But look at her right now.
There it is.
It was the divorce party,
I
and
found
I
out-
didn't enter a strip club.
So this is the kind of stuff that happens with me that affects me
Exactly.
greatly.
Yeah, because
She
once
should have used that
you're having a
$2,000.
conversation.
Yeah, and I beg you, after this, she's gonna want to make out with him. She's gonna say, I'm sorry for what I did, and then probably want to have sex after.
And
How
he's
is
like,
he supposed to perform?
yeah, he's like, I literally, you made me feel like shit on national television in front of my peers.
Hmm.
And like, see, Clayton is like, she should have used those $2,000 for anger management. He's not wrong. She
It's
needs
not.
help. She
Yeah, she
needs
does.
help.
She does.
Anger management classes.
Shut up. Shut the up.
It's the truth, babes.
It is
And
the
you said
truth.
it
Get
yourself.
Why
upset.
did you make an effort? It seems Gino hasn't told Jasmine the whole story.
These girls are topless.
Yes, topless, booties out. Devin covering his face.
He looks like a kid in a candy store. Oh, he's hugging. He
Oh my
motorboated.
gosh.
Jasmine's gonna kill him.
There you go.
She's about to slap him in the face, honestly.
Titties are fully out.
Okay.
And hugging him like that.
Oh my God. We only saw a little clip. Look at this. This is a lot. Oh no, Jasmine's crying.
And Gino's smiling.
Yeah, baby. I think we need to get him on stage. Oh my God. What are you guys doing?
God.
You need to be here.
This is not good. This is not
Like, if this
good.
wasn't a bachelor party, this is what I would expect. But this is a no for her.
Oh my God, Gino.
Gino, these women are literally on top of him. Spread eagle.
Oh,
Humping
great.
him.
No, man. This is going to be so bad for Gino.
Yeah, it looks like he's having a threesome in a strip club. It's exactly what it looks
There's
like.
literally someone shaking their butt on top of them. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, look at him. He's smiling while Jasmine's like, please take it off.
She's having a full
God.
breakdown.
Honestly, I don't blame her for her reaction. I would have lost my mind.
Here's the thing. I know that this is expected. I would never want to see it.
Mhm.
So I get that. Like,
Looks like a fun night, Gino.
Sam, shut up.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it's a bachelor party. It's like a once in a lifetime experience.
How do you feel that your wife is crying like that, huh? It
He's
seems like
laughing.
you're really
Yeah, he's
interested in
literally
the
like,
strippers rather
what's
than
the
your
big
wife,
deal?
and she's gorgeous.
Gino, when you get back home
Shut
after
up,
that
Igor.
party, did you give the sex for your?
She wasn't there, Igor. Caught up. Come
No.
on.
He doesn't
I wasn't.
listen.
She wasn't in the U.S. that night.
Maybe you have good energy after that.
I mean, the evidence is pretty damning. I mean, he was enjoying it.
They are. They're
think
just
that?
usually not televised.
Yeah, they're not televised. And, everyone has like their own opinion when it comes to bachelor parties. But I
Yeah.
definitely feel like if both of you have agreed on no bachelor party, there shouldn't be a bachelor party. Like, I don't see the point of telling your partner, please don't have one. And then they go behind your back and have one. It's so disrespectful. But I'm pretty sure this is also going to lead to Clayton's bachelor. I mean, Annalie's bachelor
For
party.
sure.
So let's see.
One person who was there that night at the club and got a firsthand account of Gino's behavior is one of the dancers. Please welcome.
Oh my
Daisy.
goodness. Jesus.
They are
Hi,
so
Daisy. How are you?
messy.
This is way too much, honestly. Like, they didn't have to do this. And they're doing it just
No.
to trigger Jasmine because they know that she's going to lose her mind.
But also, they're showing this girl in her dressing room with all her sexy bikinis in the back.
No.
I cannot.
He was very awkward. He seemed very uninterested in being there, just kind of wanted to hang with his family and have a good time in a good environment.
Yes, I didn't sit there. I wasn't in the VIP room getting dances by girls
Those
or anything
women
like
were
that.
half naked, and you were hugging her with her chest. I would have never gotten married to you. I have seen this before the wedding.
I don't think I necessarily agree with Jasmine saying that Gino has never made her feel desire or has never complimented her or things like that. But I could see why it's so difficult for her to witness this because it was like they were. It's
Yeah.
just too much for me.
Yeah. No, it was definitely. It was too intimate, too close for comfort. Absolutely. But in terms of Jasmine feeling that way, I'm not saying that her feelings aren't valid, but I also think that when you don't feel good about yourself, someone could shower you with all the love in the world. If you don't feel like you are worthy, if you don't feel good about yourself, you won't receive it. And so I think it's also I'm like, from what we've seen, Gino has demonstrated love in so many ways for her, for her family. It's been endless. So one, I don't think she's being receptive of it because of how she feels about herself. But
Mhm.
also, it's it's her the way she acts is preventing him from showing more than what
More
he's
love,
done.
exactly, because he has brought it up, the way that you
Yeah.
react to what I do or things that are even out of my control is
Yeah.
why our relationship is the way it is, because
Yeah.
I feel scared to talk.
It's a bachelor party, and I have the right to have fun at a bachelor party, at my bachelor party.
There's so much.
I mean,
Because
he is
yes,
allowed, yeah.
he's allowed. I just think that there's it's kind of that thing that when you when you're fighting about another thing and then you blow up about another, like, there's
Mhm.
a deeper issue here that they haven't,
Resolve,
unpacked,
yes, yes.
and so this stripper situation is triggering.
It's yeah, triggering for both of them, definitely. Like, I know that Gino feels like Jasmine lied to him too about her stripper, and then now Jasmine feels like he's lying. Jasmine feels insecure. Gino feels like she's always yelling at him. There's so much in
Hmm.
it that it's just I don't know if they're even gonna be able to resolve what just happened.
I don't think they'll be able to resolve it in the tell-all, but I think also what we're seeing
Mhm.
is that Gino also, like, in Jasmine's sorta defense, Gino also feels like a need because she has been so overpowering. We've seen in this last season that he's
Yes.
done things to kind of like mark his territory or like stand his ground.
Mhm.
And so even though he knows that Jasmine is not cool with it, this is his way of retaining his autonomy.
She was topless and he was hugging her and smelling her. Never hug me that way.
It
I doubt
it
that.
affects Jasmine a
That's
great
not true.
maybe because my ex worked at a
Oh,
club.
your ex worked at a
Oh, yes.
Oh,
His ex was actually a sex worker too.
okay. So
I
I don't think that changes the situation, but I
No, it
think
doesn't.
it helps me understand how
Why she
deep,
feels that way.
yeah, how deep her insecurities run.
Because she's thinking, "Oh, it's probably he probably went over there because he misses his ex, or he probably wanted a stripper because he misses his ex."
What can you tell us about this one night stand?
It's just a quick little fling. It meant nothing to me.
I would never trust him.
I just want to know if like he's not messing around behind my back.
What, have you ever cheated on anybody though?
I hope that this is a situation that happened before he went to visit her for the first time.
Yes, please.
Because, they were in a relationship without meeting first time. It's kind
Mhm.
of what happened with Angela and Michael, that he had hooked up with someone before. I think that I think long distance is hard, and if you haven't met, I think it's hard to just be in a relationship with someone that you haven't met before.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't consider that cheating. I hope that it's that and it's
We'll
not
see.
something that he like, oh god, I really hope not.
Because no, yeah, it's definitely gonna break my heart to find out if this happened after they met each other or even after they were married because how are you saying like, you're probably going to go to jail because of what happened and now you're telling us that even though she left everything behind for you, moved over here, told you multiple times, if you go to jail, I'm still going to wait for you. I'm going to be here for you and you cheat on her and then finding out she's pregnant. Oh my god, if I find out that he did it while pregnant, I'm going to lose my mind.
I'm going to lose my mind. He better not.
The bachelorette party that your woman asked for, I brought it.
Part of me thinks that Brandy might have done that to affect our relationship.
No,
It seems
Angelique
like you're
definitely
bothered
asked
by
for
your
it.
sister.
She did
Yes, and
ask
she
for it.
seems bothered by me having a happy relationship.
No. He resents Brandy so
She's
much. It's so
They
sick.
do. I actually think that both of them have like some type of resentment towards each other. I definitely do that Clayton's is a little bigger towards his sister.
Yeah.
I think maybe the fact that he has taken more care of his mom, has done more things for his family in that scenario. He feels like she hasn't stepped up enough, and
But I
that's
think
he's taking it out on her.
yeah, I definitely understand that perspective, and I think Brandy is seeing it differently, where she's
Mhm.
seeing that him and his mom have been and their mom have been closer, and so
Yes.
she almost like can't penetrate that
Yeah,
relationship.
she feels left out.
Yeah, so I mean, sibling relationships are complicated, and I think it's definitely that he at every turn thinks that she's purposely being malicious, but at the
Mhm.
same time, when he needs someone to plan a whole wedding, he asks her for her help. So it's like,
Exactly. It's like you can't pick and choose because right now
yeah,
you're being like, you know what? I need your help. But at the same time, you think that
yeah,
she's the one being malicious. You think that
yeah.
she's the one doing all of this. And Anali did ask for it. We can call it a joke and all you want. We can laugh at it. But
Yeah.
Anali did ask for the stripper. She can say,
She
I was just
did.
joking. But girl, you were.
Honey, she was here taking selfies with the strippers, and she
Yes.
was living.
She seemed way too happy. And last time when I mentioned, I think it was well when the stripper thing happened, I said that if Annalie didn't really want a stripper, he should have left. She should have left. In my
Agreed.
opinion, like you guys, some people were like, "Well, were you expecting it to get? Were you expecting her to get out of a moving vehicle?" And I was like,
No,
first
they
of
could
all,
stop.
the vehicle wasn't moving when the stripper got in the vehicle. So she
No.
could have left. She could have said, no, I don't want to do this. I don't feel comfortable. But she chose to stay in the vehicle and she chose to do all those other things. There was even this other girl that was inside that when the stripper tried to give her a dance, she said no. So she could have done the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
At least that's how I see it. But
No, I agree. I think that if she didn't like it, it was very obvious that it was a stripper when he came on. She could have been
Mhm.
like, "Actually, can we stop the like it wasn't like it was on automatic. Someone was driving it. They
Exactly.
could have stopped it.
Mhm.
But again, she wanted that. She wanted initially when Brandy said that they were just gonna stay in and watch movies, she
She
was
was not happy about it.
disappointed. She was like,
Exactly.
"Oh, like that's a boring." She wanted the stripper thing. So I don't believe it was a joke. I think she's saying it's a joke because she's backpedaling now because of that
Mhm.
huge fight that she had with Clayton. I think you gotta own it. That's what you wanted. He didn't like it. You guys got to move past it, and that's it. But to lie and rewrite history and worsen his relationship with his sister
Exactly. Yeah,
is
paint it on
not
her
good.
fault. She's the
Yeah.
one.
He's skinny now, way skinny, but I still call her piggy. Wow.
I do not like Nick.
Devin, was your weight loss influenced by Nick calling you? His
Yes.
I'm
name,
glad she
I'm
asked
gonna
that.
say
Jasmine.
no, but it's yes.
She don't know nothing about how to act like a lady in straight relationship.
That is a woman. Stop disrespecting her like that.
Yes.
Every
Please,
time you
God
say
damn it.
stuff like that, you are causing more damage to her.
Yep.
She's having a panic attack right now.
This is a mess. I want to fight Igor.
I was saying that that's incredibly disrespectful. We know that transgender women already have a hard time believing that they are who they believe they are. And then here
Yeah.
comes Igor being like, oh, you're not woman enough. And Ashley's correct. You're literally beating her down. You're
Yeah.
making her doubt herself. And it's just disrespectful. I
He has
can't
a
stand this.
peanut for a brain and can't understand how all genders can have different like the way different energies that they carry. Maybe she'd
Definitely.
be more inclined to tap into her feminine energy if he stepped up his masculine. But because
Yeah.
he isn't, she feels like she has to like do it for the both of them. And it's like you can't expect her to provide and be the masculine and also be the feminine. She's tired.
Because she is taking on that masculine energy that he isn't
Yeah.
providing.
She's
You're
wearing all the
acting
hats.
yeah, he's acting like a woman, but then he wants Nikki to act like a woman too.
Yeah, whatever
There's
that
someone
means.
here that exactly. To him, it means, she cooks, she cleans, she does all this thing, but you also want her to provide financially. If
Yeah.
we're really going by your definition, she shouldn't even be working. She shouldn't even be doing any of that. You should be the one
Yeah.
taking care of the money, of the finance
Yeah, he was
situation.
making such a big deal about him cooking and cleaning, and she's like, "Yeah, because I'm in your home, and when you're in my home, I'll take care of you in that
Mhm.
way. Like, you're supposed to make me feel comfortable. Like, it's not a matter of being masculine or feminine. It's just a matter of like caring for your partner, and I'm in your
Exactly.
territory."
It's not like, "Oh, because I'm a woman, I'm gonna clean and cook, and my man is gonna take care of the money." Like, both of us work,
Yeah.
both of us take care of the house, both of us take care of the kids because that's just the way it works. It's
Yeah.
that whole mentality of women do woman things and man do man things. What does that
Yeah.
even mean at this point? We have moved on from that. Like,
Yeah.
please move on from it. But
Absolutely.
I'm excited to see what's gonna happen in the next one because I want to hear about the Clayton situation. I want to hear about Citra and Sam. I want to hear about
Yes.
the whole Devin situation. I am sad that we didn't get much more from Devin and Nick because I
Yeah.
really like Devin and I wish that we would have gotten way more of her story and stuff. But
Me too, but next week we're gonna get to see them with her parents, and I'm excited
yes,
because it looks like they're not gonna hold anything back.
I hope not. Yeah,
I'm excited to see the whole thing with Citra and Sam. Like, what is the truth before we come out with
yeah, I
pitchforks?
know.
And then I also want to find out if Clayton's mother,
Still
like,
lives with them.
yeah, like where is she? I want to know that. And yeah, you guys, that was the reaction to the tell all part one. How many parts do we have of this again? We have two or three. So there's going to be two parts. So make sure to subscribe to each of our channels so that you don't miss our recaps for the tell all part 2. It's going to be juicy. Thank you again so much for watching. If you've subscribed to either one of our channels, thank you so much. We really do appreciate you. And if you haven't, make sure to hit the subscribe button because we stay active with these recaps. And yeah, Karen, it's been so fun to do
It
this with
has been so
you.
fun. It was very, very
Hopefully,
fun.
one of many. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, there we
Yeah,
go.
that's
And
cute.
recording.